welcome to our next lesson here on our module on credit, where we focus on one of the most crucial steps in adulting, and that is building credit over time. Now, credit building is the process of demonstrating to lenders that you can responsibly manage borrowed money. The more responsible you are with your credit accounts, the higher your credit score will climb. And so you could think of it like building a muscle. It takes effort, but each positive action makes you stronger. Now, I do want to get to kind of one thing straight away. Building credit isn't something that happens overnight. I am not going to tell you that you can increase your score by 200 points in a week just by doing one thing. I think that would be pretty disingenuous, so I'm not going to do that. Building credit takes time. It takes consistency and patience, and there's no quick fix. But if you stick to a few simple principles that we discuss in this module, you can have a strong credit history that will serve you for years to come. So with that said, in this lesson, I'll walk you through the best practices for building credit steadily while avoiding some of the most kind of common pitfalls that we face in adulting. And spoiler alert, these best practices directly align with the 5 credit factors that we just discussed in the last video. So be sure to take the time to understand that. Building good credit over time, the main key to building it is really just paying on time every time. This is the most important factor in building good credit. Again, it is 35% of your credit score. I said this before and I will keep saying it. Pay your bills on time and always pay at least the minimum payment. And that's really it. If you make on-time payments consistently, your credit will rise. And why, you might ask? Well, it's because late payments are one of the biggest credit score killers. Even a single missed payment can lower your score significantly. So here's kind of an actionable step that I want you to do. Set up automatic payments or reminders for each bill so you never forget a due date. I pay my bills on the 26th of every month, and I also have the automatic payment set up on the payment due date just in case I forget. And so that's something that you want to consider setting up to kind of cover your bases and make sure that you are paying on time every time. All right, so next is keeping your credit utilization below 30%. Credit utilization is how much of your available credit you're using. And here's the thing, credit bureaus prefer that you don't max out your cards and seem like a financial risk to them. It's really that simple. So try to keep your utilization ratio below 30%. And this means if your credit limit is $1,000, you should aim to use no more than $300 of that limit at any given time. But if you can, aim for a credit utilization under 10% for the best results. As you grow your total available credit, it will be easier to stay within the credit utilization suggestion limits. So really don't worry about that too much. Now let's talk about the role kind of time plays in building credit. Your credit history, which includes the age of your credit accounts, is another factor in your credit score. Again, referencing the last video, the longer your accounts have been open and in good standing, the better your score will be. That's why opening credit early and keeping it open long term can really pay off, unless it's something like a loan. Pay those off quickly so they can be closed ASAP. And don't worry, this also doesn't mean you need to open multiple credit accounts just to build a longer history. That's not necessary. A single card or account will work just fine if you maintain it over time and in good standing. So along those same lines, you want to avoid opening too many accounts too quickly. While it's good to have some credit accounts, opening too many accounts at once can hurt your credit score. Why? Well, that's because every time you apply for credit, the issuer will conduct a hard inquiry. Multiple hard inquiries in a short time can signal to lenders that you are potentially a higher credit risk for them. So instead, focus on opening one account at a time, max 2 accounts, and then let it grow. Then consider adding another one once you found your stride. As your credit score increases, you can then begin to do things like requesting a higher credit limit. This can help lower your utilization ratio over time. You can also qualify for better credit cards with lower interest rates or better rewards or even higher credit limits. But the thing to remember is that you don't want to just increase your credit card limit just to spend more. Keeping your spending consistent and manageable is key. Now, let's make sure we're kind of avoiding some of the common mistakes that could derail your credit building efforts. And yes, I know I keep kind of harping on these points, but they are so important, especially at our beginning stages of adulting. Our habits now, both good and bad, will have an impact on future us. So we want to be sure to avoid late payments, since this can significantly damage your credit score. You want to avoid carrying high balances, like maxing out cards or getting close to your credit limit. That will harm your score. And then you want to avoid applying again for too many cards. Too many hard inquiries at one time really does hurt your score. And then you want to avoid closing old accounts if you don't have to. The longer your accounts are open, the better. So these are things that you want to keep in mind. So here's your game plan for building credit steadily. You want to set up automatic payments on your card or loan to ensure you never miss a due date. You want to keep your credit utilization under 30%, and as you improve, have the goal of getting it under 10%. You also want to focus on one account at a time and build it responsibly. If you have multiple accounts, aim for good standing on all of them. Never skip payments. Now, your actual action plan for the end of this video is to review your credit report and check your current credit utilization so you can have an idea of where you're at. You also want to set up automatic payments for at least your minimum payment on all cards if you cannot afford to pay the statement balance each month. If you don't know what a statement balance is, don't worry, more on this in the next lesson, but I just want you to understand that building credit isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And with patience, consistency, and the right habits, you will be on your way to a solid credit score and an easier path in adulting. And that's really it for this lesson. You now have a solid understanding of how to build credit over time without rushing or overextending yourself, and just keep the focus on responsible habits, and you'll see your credit score climb steadily. So in our next lesson, we are going to be discussing kind of how to go about deciding on and opening your first credit card. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching Adulting Starts Here. I will see you in the next video. Take care.